All right, let's go. Reading section 2, right? IELTS. All right, questions 1 to 5. The reading passage has 5 paragraphs, A to E. Which paragraph contains the following information? Write the correct letter, A to E. And please keep in mind that you may use any letter more than once. Okay? Yeah. All right. Now, number 1. Thư. The answer is E, right? Okay. Now, could you please read that? Okay. A view concerning what can and what cannot replace something. And the answer is E. That means that we can find the information in paragraph E, right? Something about a view concerning what can and not replace something. Okay? Now, paragraph E. All right, where's that? Tell me. Line number 3. Yeah, given that it would take the world's entire supply of arable land to replace just 2/3 of our transport fuel needs. So that is what is talking about, a view concerning what can and what cannot replace something, right? So that's what can replace. How about what cannot replace or something? Yeah. Yes, that's right. The next one, okay? Biofuels are not a practicable long-term solution for transportation emissions. What we need is carbon-free fuel, okay? So the first part, they talk about what can replace, and then the other one we are talking about what cannot replace, okay? So yeah. That's correct. Okay. So when you look for the answer, try to look for all of the information which is mentioned here. Okay. When it mentioned about a view concerning what can and what cannot replace something, we try to look for all of the information about this. If you miss something, that means it maybe is incorrect. Okay. All right. Next one. Bảo, number 2. Okay, a mention of the amount by which. Okay, here a mention of the amount. That means that it has to mention about the amount. We need to see the number. Okay, the number by which carbon emissions might increase in the future. What's the answer?
Paragraph A.
Okay, paragraph A. So the answer is A. Okay. Okay, I want to see the amount by which carbon emissions might increase in the future. Where's that? Line number 4 from the bottom, yeah. Read that.
10% more carbon a year for several centuries more than our previous models predicted.
Yeah. If the, okay, we have to start from here. If the permafrost thaws, we could be releasing 10% more carbon a year for several centuries, more than our previous models predicted. It's going to cost a lot to reduce our emissions by that much, but it will cost more in damage if we don't. So did it answer the question? Mention of the amount by which carbon emissions might increase in the future. Okay, now tell me something about the future. Anything related to the future? Yeah, okay, so here we could be releasing 10% more carbon a year for several centuries, more than our previous models predicted. Okay, so more than our previous models predicted, that means that we are talking about the next several centuries. Okay, Okay, so that means we are talking about the future. And then I want to see like the amount by which carbon emission might increase. Tell me, what's that?
The amount by which carbon emissions is similar to 10% more carbon a year.
Yeah, more carbon, that means that the increase. Okay, more carbon, that means the increase in carbon amount. Okay, and here we have the number here, 10%. Okay, we could be releasing 10% more carbon a year for several centuries, more than our previous models predicted. So that's how we answer this one. Okay, so we find the amount and we find some words similar to the meaning of carbon emissions might increase and in the future also. Yeah, so that's number 2. Now number 3, Phúc Dương, please read that.
Reference to an established belief that researchers say is incorrect.
Yeah, a reference to an established belief that researchers say is incorrect. So what is the answer? You don't know. How about the others? Do you know the answer? Did we fix this one? Yes or no? No, not yet. Okay, then we fix that first. Okay, we fix that first before we continue. So unit 5. Let's say unit 5 reading. Okay, so number 1 that is E, number 2 A, number 3, what's that, guys? What? B, 3B. Okay, 4, no, not D, 4E. Okay, 4E. 5, B. Okay, 5B. And then number 6, 6, D, 7, 7, Thư. No, 7, B, 8, A, 9, C. Okay, questions 10 to 13. 10.
Agricultural lands.
Yeah, agricultural lands. Agricultural lands. 11. 11. Ethanol. Ethanol. Okay. 12.
Coal fields.
Yeah. Coal field. Okay. Coal field. 13.
Clean electricity.
Yeah, clean electricity or electricity only. It's okay. Yeah. All right. So we have just fixed everything. Now we will continue explaining this. Okay, so we are here number 3, right? Number 3, that is B, right? A reference to an established belief. So now you need to identify the location where we can find an established belief. Believe what? That researchers say is incorrect. Okay? Okay, paragraph B, right? Okay, Thư, tell me where. Where can we find information about an established belief that researchers say is incorrect? Okay, Bảo, can you please help her? Yes. Line number 6.
Another paper published in Nature found that old forests, which make up perhaps half of the boreal forest, continue to accumulate carbon, contrary to the long-standing view that they are carbon neutral.
Yeah, very good, very good. Okay, so that sentence, another paper published in Nature found that old forests, which make up perhaps half of the boreal forest, continue to accumulate carbon, contrary to the long-standing view that they are carbon neutral. Now, tell me similar words, because I want to see some similar words or phrases of established belief, researchers say, and is incorrect. Okay, where can I find that information?
Established belief is similar to long-standing view.
Yes, that's right. Established belief is similar to long-standing view. Okay, okay, guys. Long-standing view, that means the view for a long time ago, and it still continues until now. Okay, that's what we call long-standing view. So that is similar to the phrase an established belief. Right here, okay, right down in number 3, an established belief. Okay, so that's the first one. Now I want to see something like researchers and incorrect.
Similar phrase to researchers says is they are carbon neutral.
No, when we say researchers say, that is very similar to another paper published in Nature found. Okay, because when we talk about a paper and it published in some paper like this, is like, of course only researchers can do that. You understand? Because also above that we say researchers found that the region contains blah blah blah, and also another paper published in Nature found that. Okay, so another paper published in Nature, that means that researchers say that, or they found that. You understand? Because only researchers can say these things. Yeah, don't worry, someone will open the door, don't worry. Yeah, okay, now incorrect.
Incorrect is similar to contrary to.
Yeah, incorrect is similar to contrary to. Okay, contrary to, that means that it's opposite, it's different from. Okay, contrary to, that means it's opposite, or it's totally different from the long-standing view. You understand? And the long-standing view, that means an established belief. Got it? Yeah? So we found all of the similar words and phrases in this sentence which match with number 3 here. Hello? Okay? Yeah? Alright, very good. Now number 4. Number 4, Thư, can you do that? Yes, evidence from one study that supports the conclusions of another study. What's the answer? E. Okay, before you read or you look for the information, you need to know, okay, what we are looking for. Okay, we are looking for what? We're looking for the evidence from one study, and that supports the conclusion of another study. Hello. When we say that supports the conclusion, that means that it agrees with that. Okay, it agrees with that conclusion of another study. Okay. Now, where can we find the evidence? Paragraph E, right? Where is that? Line number 3. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what study supports what? What? Because here I just only see only one study, okay? What you have just read from line number 3, given that it would take the words entire blah 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 until somewhere here that could make a contribution, he asked, it's just the same guy. I mean, only one study. We need to look for another study which supports something. Okay? Mm-hmm. Size.
Study by the in science. When you did that, show that we're impressed in the fuel plant double study in carbon emission compared to using the same press to make ethanol.
Yeah. Do you agree with that? So what is supporting what? Because we must say that we must see some idea from one study, and then another study it says the same thing. Okay? That's how we can say that evidence from one study that supports the conclusions of another study. Now, what is the conclusion of another study, and what is the evidence from one study that supports that one? We need to be very specific. Mm-hmm. Line number 9 from the bottom, 2, 3, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay.
If biofuels are going to reduce emissions using abandoned croplands to make electricity and offset coal use in our best way.
Yeah.
Its support for biofuels are not a partial long-term solution for transportation emissions.
Mm-hmm. So what you said is that this sentence, if biofuels are going to reduce emissions using abandoned croplands to make electricity and offset coal use is our best bet. Okay, is supporting this one. Biofuels are not a practicable long-term solution for transportation emissions. What we need is carbon-free fuel. But in the case of abandoned croplands, using grasses as biofuels could make a contribution. Yeah, not about biofuels here, but we are talking about this idea. I think using abandoned croplands. Okay, but in the case from the study above, But in the case of abandoned croplands, using grasses as biofuels could make a contribution. Okay? And here below that it says using abandoned croplands to make electricity and offset coal use is our best bet. Okay? Mấy cái khúc này nó hơi khó hiểu chút xíu ha. Đâu bạn nào dịch được coi. Biofuels are not a practicable long-term solution for transportation emissions. What we need is carbon-free fuel, but in the case of abandoned croplands, using grasses as biofuels could make a contribution. And here said that if biofuels are going to reduce emissions, using abandoned croplands to make electricity and offset coal use is our best bet. Yeah. Đâu bạn nào giải thích rõ ràng cụ thể cái này coi. Đâu dịch cho thầy nghe câu này coi. Thư dịch không cái câu mà he says biofuels are not a practicable long-term solution. Dịch cho đến chỗ contribution đi. Vậy là khí sinh học, nhiên liệu sinh học.
Nhiên liệu sinh học thì nó không phải là cái giải pháp thực tiễn lâu dài cho cái sự chuyển đổi.
Khí nhiên liệu carbon, carbon free fuel có nghĩa là nhiên liệu mà không có carbon, tức là không có giải phóng ra carbon. Ok.
Nhưng mà trong trường hợp của những cái vùng đất bị bỏ hoang,
đất trồng trọt bị bỏ hoang thì sao?
thì dùng cỏ như là cái nhiên liệu sinh học có thể là một cái sự đóng góp.
Đúng rồi. Ok. Thì biofuels là cái nhiên liệu sinh học thì nó không có phải là một cái giải pháp thực tiễn lâu dài cho cái vấn đề liên quan đến cái khí thải và giao thông đó, hay vận chuyển, được không? Cái điều mà chúng ta cần đó là cái loại nhiên liệu mà không có carbon, ok, không có carbon. Nhưng mà trong cái trường hợp của những cái vùng đất trồng trọt mà bị bỏ hoang đó, thì việc sử dụng cỏ như là một cái nhiên liệu sinh học thì có thể là mang một cái sự đóng góp nào đó, được không? Rồi bên dưới thì nó nói sao đây? If biofuels are going to reduce emissions, using abandoned croplands to make electricity and offset coal use is our best bet là gì? Offset coal use là gì các bạn? Offset là bù đắp cho việc sử dụng than. Tức là khi mà mình sử dụng cái nhiên liệu sinh học rồi á, thì mình sẽ bớt sử dụng nhiên liệu than lại. Ok? Ok là giải pháp tốt nhất của chúng ta. Ok? Có nghĩa là ở bên này dưới này nó là using abandoned croplands, là sử dụng abandoned croplands để mà tạo ra điện và bù đắp cho cái việc sử dụng than đó, nhiên liệu than đó là cái giải pháp tốt nhất của chúng ta. Thì nó rất là trùng hợp với lại cái ý ở trên là but in the case of abandoned croplands, using grasses as biofuels could make a contribution. Ok? Yeah. Thì chung hai cái ý này nó đều nói đến cái việc đó. Using grasses as biofuels could make a contribution, and here it says that using abandoned croplands to make electricity. Okay. If biofuels are going to reduce emissions, using abandoned croplands to make electricity and offset coal use is our best bet. Okay. Khúc trên này nó cũng nói là burning grasses in a coal fuel plant doubles the savings in carbon emissions compared to using the same grasses to make ethanol. Okay. Rồi, với lại thêm một cái ý nữa ở dưới này nè. Thus, Russia and Kazakhstan are now in a position to become leaders in green energy and could use the grasses to export clean electricity in addition to oil and gas, according to Mr. Wolf. Okay, that means that these two countries, they become leaders in green energy and could use the grasses to export clean electricity. And here they say that they can use abandoned grasslands to make electricity. That means that they will burn grasses. Okay, they could use grasses to export clean electricity. Được không? Đó thì mấy cái ý này nó support lẫn nhau ha. Và đây là một cái dẫn chứng đó. Cái Russia and Kazakhstan này nó là một cái evidence from one study that support the conclusion of another study. Okay. Rồi, okay, number 5. Number 5. Yến Nhi, did you do that? Number 5, the answer is B. Okay. Okay, read that. Yeah, how much carbon is currently located in a particular part of the world? And the answer is B. Okay. So we need to figure out the location where we can find some information about the amount of carbon, okay, which is currently located in a particular part of the world. Okay, we must be very specific about that. So the answer is paragraph B. Where? Okay, line number 2, right? Okay. Yes, researchers found that the region contains 1,672 billion tons of organic carbon, much of it several feet underground, that would account for approximately 50% of the estimated global below ground organic carbon. Okay, so that's one place we can find information about how much carbon is currently located in a particular part of the world. Where else can we find it? Can we find some information somewhere else in this paragraph? Line number 5 from the bottom. Yeah. Boreal forest. Yes. Executive director. Okay, yes, that's right. Okay, this is all the more reason to protect Russia's boreal forests, which take in 500 million tons of carbon a year. Okay, so that's the number. That is the number, or that is a very precise number. Okay, or the amount of carbon. Okay, which take in 500 million tons of carbon a year, and about 1/5 of the carbon absorbed by the world's landmass, says by this guy. Yeah, so that's correct. Okay. Now, so we have finished questions 1, questions 6 to 9. Okay. Alright, question 6 to 9. Look at the following statements. Question 6 to 9 and the list of sentences below. Oh, the list of sentences below. Match each statement with the correct sentence A to D. Okay. So actually we need to identify the person who said these sentences, or who said some kind of similar meanings of these statements. Okay. Now number 6, Khoa, read that.
More attention will be paid to the situation with boreal forest in the future.
Okay. More attention will be paid to the situation in the boreal forest in the future. Okay. So you want to know where or who said this. Like, more attention will be paid to the situation in the boreal forest in the future. Okay. In the future. Where? Who said that? What's the answer again? D. So that is nature roulette. Okay. Where? Paragraph C. Paragraph C, line number 6 from the bottom, 2, 4, 6. Okay.
The risk to the boreal forest seems immense right now.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yes, that's right. Okay. Yeah. The threats to the boreal forest don't seem significant right now. Okay, because we are talking about the future. Yeah. So the threats to the boreal forest don't seem significant right now, explained Nature Roulette, a carbon cycle specialist at McGill University in Montreal. But I'm convinced pressure will increase. That means that in the future, okay, will increase. That means that in the future, as the region gets warmer and it gets easier to operate there. Also, I expect these resources to become more valuable as others are exhausted. Yes, that's right. So more attention will be paid to the situation in the boreal forest in the future. You see that? Yeah? Okay, number 7.
Number 7, rural forest able to deal with some of the damage that is done to them.
Yeah, boreal forests are able to deal with some of the damage that is done to them. Okay, who said this?
B. Sebastian.
Oh, B. Sebastian. Luzert. Okay, Luzert. Okay, we don't need to pronounce the name correctly. Okay, where? Which paragraph? D? B. Paragraph B. Line number 9.
Even though fires
Here, even though fires. Okay.
Infestation and destroying entire swath of forest and release into the atmosphere the carbon they contain. Old growth forests still taking more than these natural disturbances to release.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to offer
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
just at the University of
Yeah. Okay, so here, even fires and insect infestations destroy entire swaths of forest and release into the atmosphere the carbon they contain. Old growth forests still take in more than these natural disturbances release, says lead author Sebastian Luzert, a biologist at the University of Antwerp in Belgium. Okay, so now tell me some similar words or phrases. Like, I want to see something like boreal forest and able to deal with some of the damage. Okay, damage, and that is done to them. Tell me first, some of the damage that is done to them. What's that?
Some of the damage that is done to them is similar to fire
Yes, that's right. It is very similar to fires and insect infestations. Okay, destroy entire swaths of forest. Okay, so that is the similar phrases. Now, boreal forests are able to deal with that. Where?
The phrase old growth forest still taking more than these natural disturbances release.
Yes, that's right. So old growth forest still take in more than these natural disturbances release. I mean, it still can deal with that. It can deal with that situation. Okay? Yeah? Okay, that's correct. Very good. Okay. Alright, next one. Number 8. Thư. Phúc Dương, you want to join? Yeah? Yeah, if you can do it, go for it. 8. Do it.
Earlier research may have underestimated the scale of the future problem.
Yeah, earlier research may have underestimated the scale of the future problem. What's the answer? A. Joseph Canadell, right? So we need to find the information about earlier research may have underestimated the scale of a future problem. Where?
Line number 6 on the bottom.
Which paragraph?
A.
Paragraph A. Line number 6 from the bottom. Okay, where? Okay, here I can see his name. Yeah.
And line 4 on the bottom.
No, tell me exactly which sentence. Read that.
10% more carbon a year for several centuries, more than our previous models predicted. It's going to cost a lot of reduce our emissions by that much, but it will cost more in damage if we don't.
Yeah, okay. Yes, we have to read from somewhere here. There's a lot of carbon there, and it's very vulnerable, says Joseph Canadell, co-author of the study. If the permafrost thaws, we could be releasing 10% more carbon a year for several centuries, more than our previous models predicted. It's going to cost a lot to reduce our emissions by that much, but it will cost more in damage if we don't. Okay, now tell me some similar words and phrases of this statement, like earlier research may have underestimated the scale of a future problem. Tell me, earlier research first.
Earlier research means previous model predicted.
Yes, it's similar to previous models predicted, that's right. And may have underestimated, where?
We could be releasing 10% more carbon a year for several centuries, more than.
Yes, that's right. We could be releasing 10% more carbon a year for several centuries. That means that the research before, it just has underestimated this one, okay? Underestimated, I mean, they think it will be less than this, but no, we could be releasing 10% more carbon a year for several centuries, okay? Yeah. Now, yeah, the scale of a future problem. That means that for several centuries, more than our previous model predicted. So we are talking about the prediction in the past, and now we are talking about what's going to happen in the future. Okay, so that's correct. Now number 9, Thư.
The damage done by destroying boreal forest lasts for a very long time.
Yeah, the damage done by destroying boreal forest lasts for a very long time. A, B, C, D. The answer is C, Jing, Ming, Cheng. Okay, so we need to figure out where it mentioned about the damage done by destroying boreal forest, and it lasts for a very long time. Okay, where? Paragraph C.
Universities of Toronto geography professor whose
Yes, that's right. Okay. So the first sentence here, Jingming Chang, a University of Toronto geography professor who specializes in climate modeling for the boreal region, says cutting boreal trees increases the amount of carbon in the atmosphere, and it takes 50 to 100 years to put that carbon back in the ground. Okay, now tell me some similar phrases here. For example, the damage done by destroying boreal forest. The damage, destroying boreal forest first. Destroying boreal forest means?
Is cutting boreal trees.
Yes, that means cutting boreal trees. Okay? Yeah? And now the damage done by this. Where? The damage done by that. And lasts for a very long time. Where?
Last for a very long time is it takes 50 to 100 years.
Yes, last for a very long time means it takes 50 to 100 years to put that carbon back in the ground. And what is the damage of doing this? What is the damage of cutting boreal trees?
Increase the amount of carbon.
Yes, increases the amount of carbon in the atmosphere. Okay, so that is the damage. Okay, that is the damage. That means that the amount of carbon in the atmosphere will be increased. Okay, if we cut down all of the many boreal trees. Yeah. Okay. Now questions 10 to 13. Ý Nhi, number 10, what's the answer? Come again? Yeah, agricultural land, right? Agricultural lands. Why crash in Russia and Kazakhstan? Scientists. Okay, could you please read that? Yeah, read the sentence there.
Scientists believe that white grasses, which are currently growing on farms, agricultural land in Russia and
Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan, could be useful in combating environmental problems.
Yes, scientists believe that wild grasses, which are currently growing on farmer agricultural lands in Russia and Kazakhstan, could be useful in combating environmental problems. Okay, where can I find information? Which paragraph? Paragraph B. Paragraph D, line number 1. Okay, read that.
Scientists say Russia and Kazakhstan could make a unique contribution to the fight against global warming by harvesting wild grasses that have overgrown 100,000 square meters of agricultural lands in the 90s and using them to make ethanol or batteries, burn them in power plants.
Yes, that's right. Okay, so the answer is agricultural lands here, right? So starting from scientists say Russia and blah 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 until burn them in coal fuel power plants, right? Yeah. Okay, I read that one time for you. Scientists say Russia and Kazakhstan could make a unique contribution to the fight against global warming. But how? How can you do that? By harvesting wild grasses that have overgrown 100,000 square miles of agricultural lands abandoned in the 90s and using them to make ethanol. Or better yet, burn them in coal-fueled power plants. Okay? Now tell me the similar words and phrases of this. Scientists, I can see that there. No need to tell me. Yeah, wild grasses are exactly the same as Wild grasses here, right? What else? Which are currently growing on former agricultural lands. Where? Or something like could be useful in combating environmental problems. Combating environmental problems is similar to what? Yeah, could make a unique contribution to the fight against, okay, that means combating, and then global warming, that is environmental problems, okay? Yeah? Okay, fight against global warming is similar to combating environmental problems, and Russia and Kazakhstan, they are right there, so no need. So which are currently growing on former, why do we know that wild grasses are currently growing on former agricultural lands? Where? Where? Yeah, here by harvesting wild grasses that have overgrown, that means wild grasses have overgrown 100,000 square miles of agricultural lands. So that means the wild grasses are there on the agricultural lands. Okay, that's why here they say that which are currently growing on former agricultural lands. The word farmer is the same as? Why do we need to know farmer? Farmer is the same as what? Farmer, that means that is it the agricultural land right now? When we use the word growing on former agricultural lands, so does that mean that is still the agricultural land? No, because we say farmer, that means that before, but not now, not anymore. So the word farmer is similar to what? Yes, abandoned in the 90s. Okay, so these agricultural lands have been or were abandoned in the 90s already. So that means that farmer. Okay, not now, not anymore. Got it? Yeah. Rồi, Yến Nhi, number 11. What's the answer? Oh, sorry. Minh Trâm. Minh Trâm. Minh Thư, sorry. Minh Thư, go. Go, 11. What? Yeah, what's the answer for 11? Ethanol. Okay, read that. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Okay, with the first idea, approximately 10 million tons of carbon would be stored in the ground, and 3/4 of this would create ethanol that could be used instead of petroleum-based fuels. Oh, okay. So these are, I think it's very easy to find, because I saw most of these words somewhere already. Where? Perhaps D. Perhaps D, line number 6. Where? Sequester.
sequester in the ground over 16 years about 10 million tons of carbon a year. One quarter as yet root matter in the soil and the rest in producing ethanol as a
Substitute.
petroleum-based fuel.
Yes, that's right. That's correct. So from here, according to Nicholas Bouchard, principal author of a paper published in Environmental Science and Technology of Washington, D.C., using the grasses to make ethanol would sequester in the ground over 60 years about 10 million tons of carbon a year, one quarter as that root matter in the soil, and the rest in producing ethanol as a substitute for petroleum-based fuels. Okay, now tell me. Yes, I know the answer is ethanol, right? Now, tell me some similar words and phrases of all of them. Tell me. Oh, I can see the word, the phrase petroleum-based fuels. Just the same, right? What else? Oh, 10 million tons of carbon. Just exactly the same. 10 million tons of carbon, right? The same. What else? Where? What? What? Did you do it? Not yet. Okay, Khóa, can you help her, please? Create is similar to. Create is similar to what? Producing? Producing what? Okay, producing ethanol or to make ethanol. Okay, using the grasses to make ethanol. Okay, and in producing ethanol. Okay, what else? Where can I find information like would be stored in the ground? 10 million tons of carbon would be stored in the ground. Where? Where? Oh, yeah. Would, okay, would sequester in the ground over 60 years about 10 million tons of carbon a year, right? That's right. Now, 3/4 of this would create ethanol. 3/4 of this. Where? Where? The rest in producing ethanol. Yeah. Why? Why do you know the rest is similar to that? Okay, Bảo, help him. Why do you know the rest is the same as 3/4?
Because it's mentioned 1/4.
Yeah, because it mentioned above 1/4 as that root matter in the soil, and the rest should be 3/4. Yeah, 1/4 here, so the rest should be 3/4. Okay. Yeah. Should be stored in the ground, and 3/4 of this. That means 3/4 of what? It mentioned 3/4 of this would create ethanol. 3/4 of what?
3/4 of carbon.
What? We use carbon to produce ethanol? Really? What? Grasses. That's right. Okay, using the grasses to make ethanol. We don't use carbon to make ethanol. Okay, so using the grasses to make ethanol would sequester in the ground about 10 million tons of carbon a year, and 1/4 as that root matter in the soil, and the rest in producing ethanol. Okay. Okay, now next one. Now Bảo, that's your turn. The second idea is to burn the grasses in what? Number 12, number 12, number 12. Còn cái gì? Instead of hả? Yeah, that could be used. Yeah. Ethanol that could be used instead of petroleum-based fuels. Yes, it's similar to what? Similar to what, Bảo? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, as a substitute. Okay. As a substitute for petroleum-based fuels. I mean, instead of. Okay. That's right. Now number 12. Hai bạn kia quá ồn. Yeah, the second idea is to burn the grasses in coal-fueled power plants. Okay, where can we see like the second idea and to burn blah blah in coal-fueled power plant? Where? Paragraph D. Line number 5.
Or better yet, burn them in coal-fueled power plants.
Yes, and using them to make ethanol, or better yet, burn them in coal-fueled power plants. Burn what? Burn them. That means burn what?
Burn the wild grasses.
Yes, burn the wild grasses. Okay? So first, harvesting wild grasses that have overgrown 100,000 square miles of agricultural lands abandoned in the 90s. And then what? And using them, that means using wild grasses to make ethanol, or better yet, burn them in coal-fueled power plants. Okay. Why? Okay, now similar words and phrases. Now burn, okay, don't tell me about the word burn anymore. What else? For example, like the second idea.
The second idea is similar to better yet.
Yeah, or better yet. Okay. So that means the first idea is what? The first idea is using them to make ethanol. Or better yet, that is the second idea. Okay. The first idea is to use them to make ethanol, and the second idea is to burn them in coal-fueled power plants. Okay. And burn them, that means burn the grasses. Alright guys? Yeah? Okay, the last one, Phúc Dương, 13. No, read that first. The grasses. Okay, clean electricity, right? The grasses would be used to produce clean electricity, and production of this could be gained in a short period of time. Okay, where?
Line number 3 on the bottom.
Of what?
Paragraph E.
Paragraph E. Yes, please, before you say the line number, please tell me the paragraph first, okay? Because paragraph is bigger, and then we will say about the line number. Don't start with the line number and we don't know which paragraph. You understand? Okay, paragraph E, line number?
Line number 3 from the bottom.
Line number 3 from the bottom. Okay, tell me. Mr. Wolf. Yes. Thus, Russia and Kazakhstan are now in a position to become leaders in green energy and could use the crisis to export clean electricity in addition to oil and gas, according to Mr. Wolf. Now tell me similar words and phrases.
Could use the process to export. This same as process could be used to produce.
Okay, the grasses would be used to produce is similar to could use the grasses to export. Okay, that's right. Could use the grasses, or the grasses can be used. Okay, the grasses will be used to produce clean electricity or to export clean electricity. Okay. And production of this could begin in a short period of time. Where?
The process, line number 5, from the bottom.
Line number 5 on bottom. Yes, both of these countries have coal fuel power plants, so the process could start soon. Okay, the process could start soon is similar to the production of this could begin in a short period of time. Okay, yeah, that's right.